I love a good 3. So that came out wrong. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, and in today's video, I'm being basic and telling you the 22 books I want to read in 2022. Now, I'm not saying like I'm basic.
I'm your basic average girl.
I'm just saying like I'm jumping on the train and doing the whole trend of 22 books that I would like to read in 2022. Now, my list is explicitly backlisted books. These are no new releases because your girl's behind on a lot of books. Not that I'm a slow reader, I just take my time. I savor the books, you know? I'm just making an excuse. But really, I do have a lot of backlisted books that I would like to read this year. Will I? We don't know. It's up in the air. Because as much as I'd like to do a TBR, and I do one every month, I'm still like a very big mood reader. So I just kind of like to read when I'm in the mood for something. But these are books that I have had on my TBR for a while, and I just feel like this is the year.
I'm really excited about this new year.
Me too. It's a new year and a new me.
I mean, if it's not the year, then I don't want to hear about it. Like I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I'm just very dramatic. If you don't know, it's a curse. But these are the books, so we're just gonna get into them. Like I said, there's 22 of them. So grab a snack. I'm a talker. If you're new here, I like to talk. So let's just get into the list. The first book on my list is none other than The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have not read a Kristen Hanna before. However, very many people will say that this is their favorite Kristen Hanna. I know she writes books that makes you cry.
And today I'm the age you were when you left.
I love to cry. Like I said, I'm very dramatic. I cry when I'm happy, I'm sad, when I'm mad, when I can't get what I want to eat. It's bad. It's pretty bad. But yes, I do know that Kristen Hanna books makes you cry, so you know I'm ready for a good cry. About this book, I do know it's set during World War II. It's during the war or after the war. After the war, during the war, after the war.
After the war, I went back to New York. After the war, I went back to New York.
Anytime I can put a Hamilton reference into something, I will, so I hope you enjoyed that little clip. But I'm pretty sure it's during the war and after the war, and it's just the ramifications of the war on the lives of these two sisters. I hear that it's really good. It's being made into a movie. It should be out this year, I think. It has the Fanning sisters in it. So, you know, people hype this book up, and I'm one to stay away from hyped books because I feel bad if I don't enjoy it or I don't find the hype. So we're going in. And yeah. The next book is Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Santanto, and I know this book is about a girl and she's like a wedding planner, I think.
I'm the wedding planner.
And someone dies at the wedding, or she somehow finds a dead body and she brings it with her to the wedding, and she has to call her aunts to help her. Look, it's like a cozy mystery. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. The second book comes out this year, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a bride on it. But it looks cute so I definitely want to get into reading that. I love myself some like thrillers, but I also love just, you know, cute little mysteries, cute little whodunits. You know, I'm a fan of those as well. So I'm hoping that I get to this. It's actually right there. Right there. Yeah, she's on my book. She's right there. So hopefully I'll get to her this year as well. Oh, Lord, child, have mercy. This next book. Okay, the next book on my list is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I can tell you that I know for a fact that I will get to this book this year because I just finished it yesterday. I know this is people's favorite book. I'm going to tread very lightly when I talk about this. I gave it a 4. Like, it was good. She was good, but she's not like my all-time favorite. And I was really like, I had taken forever to read this book because of the hype, and I didn't want to read it. But y'all made me read it because I got really bad FOMO. So I read it, and like I said, I enjoyed it. But like, was it life-changing to me? Was it my all-time favorite? No. And that's fine, and I'm allowed to have my own opinions about books. books. That's my opinion! So, but I did give it a 4. Well, it's like a reread? No, but I very rarely reread books, and when I do, you know I absolutely love them. But I liked it. I liked the, you know, the story behind it. I loved the old Hollywood of it. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't my top favorite ever. But yeah, so I can definitely say with like a check that I will read this book this year because I did it, and I feel pretty proud about that. The next book is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and this is a book about a woman who is trying to end her life. I guess technically she is trying to, and she wakes up in this place called the Midnight Library, and the person there is like, all these books are your life if you would have chosen this over this in the situation, and she gets to go back and see what her life would have been like if she would have chosen something different. Honestly, it just sounds cool. Like in real life, I'd like to do that because, you know, you always are like, what if? And you should always be satisfied with, you know, your life, blah, 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 you know. But, you know, you're always like, what if? What if? The next book that I would like to read is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. He has a new book coming out in the summer, and I haven't read his other one from last year. I've only read one of his books. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like my favorite book either. It was Lock Every Door, and I was hoping for more, but what I got was whatever. Anyway, but Home Before Dark is a haunting. It reminds me of like The Haunting of Hill House. Because like they lived in this house and then something happened and they move out, and like her dad writes this book about the house and she doesn't know if it's real, so she goes back in present day, and it's probably going to be a mess, and I'm here for it because, you know, I love watching messes. So we shall see how that book goes. The next book on my list is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I know nothing about this book. I know nothing other than by Alice Feeney, and it's a thriller. Duh. And that's all I need to know because I read Rock, Paper, Scissors this year in the beginning of January, and I loved it. So now I'm just going back and reading all like her backlisted books. So I have His and Hers. I have the other one on the list, which is hers also. I might as well just go ahead and say it, is Sometimes I Lie, which is all about like a girl, and she's an unreliable narrator, which I enjoy because sometimes I'm like, well, sometimes I enjoy it, let's be real, because sometimes it just gets on my nerves, like, can I believe you or no, you know? And then sometimes I'm enjoying not believing you. It just depends on my mood. So those are 2 other books that I'd like to get to this year. The next 2 are both from the queen herself, Penelope Douglas. And the first one is Punk 57. And the second one is Credence. Now, I know about Credence and I know the taboo-ness of it, but look, I'm fine with that, okay? I got 54% of the way into Den of Vipers this year, and then I had to stop because she was too much for me, okay?
No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am.
But I know the premise of Credence, and I think I can deal with that. But I couldn't with Den of Vipers. Woo chow. And then Punk 57 is like a friends to enemies to lovers romance. So right up my alley. I love a good enemies to lovers trope. So I'm hoping to read more Penelope Douglas this whole year, but those are like the 2 like up top ones that I want to read. The next book is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, and this is a thriller, and it is about a group of friends who lost one of their friends in the group from a murder in college, and now they're going back to college for their like reunion, and they believe that one of them actually committed the crime, and I guess we're trying to figure out which one of them actually killed their friend. So I have heard people say like they loved this book. Gabby Reeds loved this book.
You guys knew this was coming, right? You knew this book would be on this list because this book was one of my favorite reading experiences that I had this year because I just had so much fun with this book.
I'm drawing a blank on other people, but I know other people said it, so I'm not just making that up. But either way, I'm very excited to read this book. The next book is Agnes at the End of the World. This is a YA book surrounding a young girl who is involved in a cult. She lives in one, and her brother is sick and needs insulin, but of course the head of the, you know, cult place, I know there's a name for it, like I can't think of the name, but he's like outside medicine, no, blah, blah, blah. But she meets this boy who's from like the outside world, and he tells him, hey, he needs insulin, this and that. So she goes on this journey to get the insulin, and it's just, I've heard good things. So I'm interested in it. I love anything about cults because I'm weird. It just fascinates me. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. So I figured I would give like a YA version of that a take. The next book is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And I don't know much about this book other than it's a romance. You know, and that's okay because like I can just go into Colleen Hoover books blind and I'll have a good time. Like I really don't know about this. I really can't tell you what this book's about. Is it friends to lovers? Is it like brother's best friend? I think it's a brother's best friend to lovers, I think. Could be totally wrong. I probably am, but I think it's what it is. But other than that, I really know nothing about it, so I can't really tell you anything. The next book is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I have heard, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard like a bad review about this book. So many people say it's their favorite Christina Lauren, so who am I to not read it? It's just sitting on my shelf looking beautiful, but it's not being read. So I figure I would give it a shot. I do know it's like childhood friends to lovers, I think, somehow. And I think it's like a dual timeline, past and present, which I'm always down for. And that's pretty much all I know about it. And that's okay. Like I said, it's a romance. So I can go in not really knowing anything and I will still have a good time. The next book on my list is Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. And this book is everywhere. It's still everywhere. And if you can hear people talking downstairs, I am incredibly sorry, but they just will not. But this book is about a girl named Finlay who is a writer. She writes thrillers and she is at Panera Bread. I know it's specific, but everyone says that in like their reviews that it's Panera Bread, so I know. And she's sitting there with her like agent and she's trying to tell her the story of this thing. So she's coming up with like, hey, my next book, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And someone overhears her thinking that she's a real assassin, a hitman. And she's like, hey, I will give you X amount of money to my husband. And she's like, oh, I'm not real. She's like, oh, wait, how much? How much? Because she's down on her luck. You know, she's going through a divorce. She needs the money. So that's just how it goes. And it goes from there. It is becoming a series. Book 2 comes out this year. And I hear it's really good. It's like a satire, comedy. And honestly, I'm just excited to read it. Like, I would like to read it now.
I'm so excited! I'm so excited!
I already picked out my TBR for February. I'm trying to be good. The next book is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I have never read a Sally Thorne before. I know she has like three books out. Just haven't read any yet. But this is a workplace enemies to lovers. It is a movie now that you can get on Amazon Prime. And I know that people enjoyed it. So a lot of people say this is like my favorite romance. So, you know, people stop hyping it because every time I read hyped up books, I'm disappointed. And I'm so tired of it, okay? But I'm gonna give it a shot. Better like it. I better like it. The next 2 books are both by Emily Henry. We have Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. Look, all these books back in 2020 and 2021 was everywhere. And I just have put it off. They're over on my shelf. I've put it off because I'm just like, too much hype. Can't do it. So finally this year, she has another book coming out called Book Lovers, and I really want to read that one because it's a book about books, and that's my weakness. I love books about books, bookshops. Oh, I love it. But I'm going to do it. I want to give these 2 a shot, and we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that everything turns out like I want them to. I know they're romances, and I know people say more or less like one is more chick lit than romance. Either way, we're just gonna see how it goes. I then have a YA mythological book, I guess. It's Lore by Alexandra Bracken. And look, I just love myself some mythology. Like, it doesn't matter if it's YA or if it's adult. I mean, I prefer adult because YA and me just aren't getting along right now. But this is about I know they're gods and goddesses, but like they come down every so many years and are hunted by humans. I don't know. By other gods and goddesses. I don't know. It don't matter to me. I just want to read something with mythological beings in the book. The next book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I just want to see what people like about this book. I might like it, I might not. You know, it's like secret society, dark academia type book. Maybe I like it, maybe I won't. It should actually be right. It is right there. But we'll see. I know it's supposed to be like a series and no other book has come out yet, but that's really all I know about it. Secret society. I know there's some trigger warnings, so, you know, look into those before you would start the book, but we'll see. The next book is another YA. Look at me, I got like 2 YAs on this. Three YAs. Who am I? The next book on my list is The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and I want to read this. I didn't read it last year, and I wish I would have, but it's like work mates, work friends. They're not even friends. They don't really like each other. So I guess it's like enemies, work enemies to lovers again, but they work at a radio station, and they're trying to come up with a new radio show, and the girl's like, well, why don't we do like where exes talk about their relationship and like give advice? And he's like, great, you and you can do it. And she's like, we're not exes. And they're like, we don't care, you 2 have chemistry, so you 2 are gonna do it. And I guess that's how the story goes. You know how it goes. They're gonna it's fine. They're gonna get together and it's fine and I'm okay with it. The second to last book on my list is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I have heard this book is really good. It's a thriller. It's like a whodunit. It starts off with someone dying at a wedding and you don't know who did it. You don't know who did it, but it's a secluded area. There's only so many people it could be. So I'm excited. I want to see if I can figure out who did it, because do I ever? No, but it's fun. It's fun trying. It's fun trying. And the last book on my list is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm giving her another chance. I'm gonna give her, Taylor, I'm giving you another chance. But this book is about a woman who marries, like, I don't think it's her childhood sweetheart, but she marries a guy that she meets and they fall in love. I would hope, because they get married. They fall in love, they get married. They go on like their wedding anniversary type thing and something happens and they think that he died. So she goes back home to live with her parents, and while she's there, years go by and I'm pretty sure that's where she meets her high school sweetheart there. And they fall back in love. They get engaged and so many years go by and guess who comes back? Her dead husband. That's right. He's not dead. So now she has to choose between the two. Who are we going with here? I'm excited. I love a good threesome. That came out wrong. I love a good a triangle. I love triangle. There it is. That's more of a square. I meant triangle. We're okay. We're good. We're good. I love a good triangle. So when it's done right. If it's not done right, I don't want it. But if it's done right, I want it. But anyway, that's the 22 books. Those are the books I'd like to read. Am I going to? Who knows? You guys need to keep me accountable. Keep asking me down in the comments of every video. Have you read your 22 and 22? That way I will do it. Because if no one keeps me accountable, I'm just not going to. But let me know down below in the comments, what do you plan to read this year? Have you read any of these? And if you did, what did you think of them? I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new and would like to see more videos from me. All my social media is linked down below as always. My Goodreads, my Bookstagram, and my Storygraph if you want to follow me on there. But I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys. I need you all to be quiet. That's what I need. It's what I need from you. It's what I need from you is to zip the lip. Zip it. You're still talking. How rude. Ugh. But sometimes I'm filming. It's okay. I put this on twice. Like, really? I only have 21 books. Oh no. Oh, we're just gonna put yeah, my freaking face is itching. It's like a book about a cult. Now I'm gonna try that again because that sounds really weird. Why are you so freaking loud? Like every person you're talking to is in the room that you're in right now. Why are you so loud?